Wukusu, peace, black power, and welcome to Harlem Liberation School's YouTube channel. Harlem Liberation School is a black nationalist, Pan-African community organization based in Harlem. We provide relevant and credible political education to help black people wake up, clean up, and stand up, in the words of Brother Malcolm X. To do this, we provide panel discussions, political commentary, mini documentaries, leadership tips, classes, and interviews with some of our most dedicated and effective leaders, activists, and intellectuals around the world. The concept of Wukusu is very important to us and central to our mission. It is our greeting, our motto, and our guiding philosophy. Wukusu is an acronym for the phrase,
Wake up, clean up, stand up.
Wake up means developing black nationalist and Pan-African consciousness. Clean up tells us to identify and eliminate our self-defeating behavior that gets in the way of us being our highest selves. Stand up compels us to use our gifts and our resources to exert leadership in our communities to help liberate our people. We humbly ask you to subscribe to our channel so we can reach more people. We encourage you to like, share, and comment on our videos, and we invite you to donate to our work either through sending us a super chat here on YouTube or by sending donations through Cash App to $TRUSELF143. Now, let's build. Peace and black power families. Brother Ajay Taimba from Harlem Liberation School, where we proudly teach black people to wake up, clean up, and stand up, in the words of Baba Malcolm X, who next month around this time will be celebrating his 100th birthday. Family, with that said, let me very quickly put a few things up so we're clear on what we're doing today. There's a few things so we know. All right. This is part of our community empowerment series. We at Harlem Liberation School love our brothers and sisters. We know that we got our challenges and our issues. That's a fact. I'm going to start with me. And I am constantly working on them. And hopefully you are too. We are taking a very strong position that we love our sisters, we value our sisters, and we know that in our community, when brothers, for whatever reasons, usually societal reasons, fell short, were not in home, were not maybe doing their share, so to speak, the sisters were the backbones of our homes. They were the ones that nursed us to health if we were on drugs, if we were on alcohol. They many times looked past our flaws and were there for us. If we were cheating and philandering, many times they forgave us and worked with us. And when we weren't strong in the church, in the mosque, and the temple, they were there. So we want to give them their flowers. This series is highlighting black women who are alive right now, walking the earth, doing work. So we don't get into hero and shero worship of only those who have passed. We have to support those who are living as well. Right? So with that said, I want to introduce our sister that we are highlighting and spotlighting tonight. I'm going to do a quick kind of overview of her bio. We're going to bring her on. Sister Milah Renée Imhotep is a proud mother and grandmother. She's in terms of her career or professional life, she's been an educator, speech language pathologist, for over maybe 40 years. She has her own business, and she operates proudly from a Black first perspective, which of course we support. She's been an advocate for Black families, particularly those who are parents of children who struggle with what we term special educational or special issues or challenges, which is very important, family. Also, she feels strongly about helping our sisters to reduce their clinically diagnosed obesity. She's takes a firm stance on fitness and wellness, and has to some degree established herself as somebody who offers actual perspective on it. And I believe has started a whole YouTube channel that takes it from just the theory to actualizing that, helping brothers and sisters get into shape. I often see some of her stuff, she's working it out. She's breaking down what she's doing, and that's very positive, very, very positive. Also, she is involved with the Anubis Gun Club, and started by my good brother, brother Amun Takala Imhotep, who is also her husband. And she serves in several capacities. We're going to get into that, but one of them is that she's a community outreach coordinator for that organization. And you heard me right, Gun Club, Anubis Gun Club in Houston, and they have other cities now where they exist. We'll get into that. And she's also a private patrol officer and a bodyguard with her husband, brother Amun, who we've had on the broadcast at least 3 or 4 times. Um, she's also a nation builder, which is very important. We support the nation builders family. See, we can get so caught up in the protesting and fighting the white man that we forget, like, after the fight is over, who's gonna build the institutions, the hospitals, right? The schools, transportation networks, communication networks, right? So nation builders we need. We can't just be fighters. We have to be builders and healers and educators as well. So in any event, family, with all of that said, I want to welcome to the broadcast our good sister, Sister Milah. How are you, my sister?
Peace and blessings. I am well, Baba Jay. I'm very, very well. Thank you so much for having me. I wanted you to keep talking. I was just listening. You hit on so many points that just need to be reiterated over and over again until it seals with us. I did want to say one thing, y'all. I've been a speech pathologist for 14 years, not 40 years. That might have been a error, but I don't want y'all to
Okay.
think I've been doing it for 40 years,
Yeah,
14
yeah,
years.
she's not that old. That would make you like 60 something. Yeah, if I
Yeah,
misrepresented that, my
yeah.
bad.
That's okay. That's okay. I just
Yes.
wanted to, how people take stuff and run with it. So I wanted to be clear.
All right. Now I want to begin just with some comments. We got my lovely queen, Sister Brenda says, Wukusu to the family. Wukusu, for those who don't know, is an acronym of Brother Malcolm's, our motto. Wake up, clean up, stand up. Wukusu. That's what it means. Um, she's giving a Wukusu to the family. She's welcoming people. She's shouting out, Sister Mila. She's
I
also
love her.
we also got a good sister. And now Sister Crystal Denise is in the building. She's saying peace. Now I forget if Sister Crystal is in Mississippi or Tennessee, but so forgive me, Sister Crystal, but I'm very familiar with the work you do as a librarian and the work you do for our young people, and much respect to you. She's shouting out Sister Brenda. Sister Brenda's shouting out Sister Crystal. Sister Brenda's showing love. So, that's how we do, fam. We want to make sure that we Mississippi. Thank you, Sister Crystal. Thank you. I want to give you proper respect and credit. So with that said, let's jump right into it. Now the first thing, Sister Milah, is let's start with this. As you see it, why do Black communities need sisters like yourself and other Black women who pour love and service into our people? Why is that important?
I think there's so many reasons why it's important. Foundationally, if you are a nation builder, if you are Black in these lost hills of North America, right, you know that the woman is the first teacher and is the foundation of the nation. So if we don't take the time to empower ourselves first and foremost, because we could never serve from a space of depletion, we have to keep ourselves full. If we don't do that for ourselves and for our sisters, then everybody in the community suffers after. Our children suffer, of course, our spouses, if we have spouses, we should, they suffer. So it's just so important for us, and also to counteract the negative images of us that are continuously portrayed in the media and in just day-to-day life. If we don't show better examples, if we don't make sure that we're a voice that is loving and kind, corrective when needed, stern but honest and accountable with our sisters, then we all suffer. And so I just think it's just so important. And I would like to just say I'm just grateful for even having that question being posed, because I think oftentimes we don't think about it, and people just kind of, well, sisters a lot of times will just kind of go on and say, well, this is what I'm seeing, so maybe this is what I should do. But if you're seeing somebody taking the action to do things in a better way, in a more positive way, in a way that is actually positively contributing to building and being foundational for the community, then hopefully younger sisters will see that and begin to mimic that, as opposed to the negative stereotypes that are broadcast about us so freely.
I feel that, my sister. I feel that. Now, those you watching, welcome. This is Harlem Liberation School. I'm going to put this on the bottom. I'm going to, throughout this broadcast, show on the ticker on the bottom, scrolling across the screen, Sister Milah's YouTube channel. So we're not just going to be cheerleading while she's here, right? We're going to make sure that we go to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. One of my critiques of our people is we talk a lot, but when it comes time for that tangible support, we kind of we shy from that. So I'm asking everybody, if you are watching the broadcast and you have not subscribed to a channel, just go while you're watching, subscribe. You know, show that type of support. The more subscribers we have as a YouTube channel, the more reach we have and the more tools are at our disposal to reach more people. So please do that, family, sometime during the show. A second question is, this isn't on my list of questions, but I always like to know, how did people come into consciousness in different ways? Some got it at home, some got jumped by some white kids and they were radicalized through that. Some read Malcolm X, whatever. I'm curious to know, my sister, how did you come into what we might call Black liberation sort of consciousness?
I would honestly say life experiences. Growing up, my family experienced different types of spirituality and religion. So there was a time when my mother was a Jehovah's Witness. My father was a Muslim. Then my father was a Baptist, and it kind of just, at one point they were both Christians. So there was a lot of I guess, a dynamic display of what you could believe, what you could do, and ideas always in my house, and they were always changing. And I just remember growing up, experiencing all of that. But then after going to college, being introduced to more, and I'm like, wow, everybody keeps saying the same thing, but nobody really practices it in a way that is truly benefiting them or being able to give back to them spiritually. It's almost like everybody's doing things in a rote nature. And when I would ask certain questions, even as a child, like I remember I got in trouble. I asked my pastor something that, I won't say it on here, but I asked him something and he was quite offended by it and told my father, you need to check her. She's going to, do this or be negative toward this faith or whatever. But my father, one of the reasons that really just motivated me and showed me that there was more than this traditional practice, this dogmatic thinking or belief system. He said she can think the way she wants to think. It's her mind. She's supposed to do it. She's using her mind, right? And that always stuck with me. I was 7 years old then, and I still remember that. And he said she was using her mind. But I was so inquisitive because things didn't make sense to me. So I was looking for things that made sense. I am a woman, so I am by nature very emotional, but I'm also very logical. It's got to go together. It's got to make sense. So I remember stumbling up on one of my college professors in the library, Dr. Wafa, and she was reading Dr. Frances Cress Welsing's The ISIS Papers. And I know many will say that that's how it came about. That's a big part of it, because I started to think then, in terms of those areas of battle, no religion shows you that. No, I mean, you have the commandments, you have these things that you never see anybody actually apply, because it's one thing to keep teaching it, but to never apply it. But the group that she led me to, the group of sisters and brothers that she initially led me to, I saw them actually living the principles that they believe, living the principles of Ma'at. Various different people. They weren't dogmatic in their thinking in that way. However, they were very quick to pour into Black people. They produced images that looked like me. They spoke words and allowed me to hear music that resonated with my soul. And it was something that I had never experienced before. And then just throughout the journey, when you become something, when you start to live a life, people tend to come into your life who just continuously add more to you. And that's really it for me. There was no fight. There was a point I was very angry. I was very mad. I wanted to fight everybody because I'm like, you lied to me. You told me this. You had me celebrating this. You had me doing this, and I thought this. And so there was a period of anger. But then it was just constantly growth. I'm just continuing to grow and loving myself more because nothing else ever made me realize the beauty in just being me and being a Black woman. Never made me realize that how powerful we truly are, because everything else makes you think you were the second class, you were a curse, something was wrong with you. But coming into consciousness, I know that nothing is wrong with me. Even something Baba Amin said one time, I asked my brothers and sisters, what's right with you, not what's wrong with you, because there's so many things right with us and not wrong with us. So just coming into that self-love and seeing myself in my people was the
That's
biggest motivator for it.
Well, thank you for that. That's an excellent testimony, and it's a reminder to those watching we all have our story, and everyone's story is unique. Some are similar, but all of them are unique, and they're important to remember your story. How did you get here? Where are you going? But how did you get here? So sometimes it'll help just answering that question and remembering what brought you here can get you back on path when you stray. So that's excellent. Now tell us about the Anubis Gun Club, my sister. Your role in it, what it is, your role in it or roles in it, and the important work you and the Moon and the others are doing on behalf of Black people in Houston and other cities.
Wow. I say wow because it's so much, and I'm so proud of my husband, y'all. I know people around me say that girl say her husband 5 times a day. I know I say it about 1,500 times a day, but I'm so proud of him. Anubis Gun Club is some would say it's a militia, but we're mostly a community response organization on the offensive. In that aspect. It was started by my husband. Coming up on I think this August 17th is going to make 8 years. He saw a need in the community based on some things that he saw going on around Houston, some cleanup efforts that needed to be made, and just the fact that he had 18 years of military experience, and realizing that one of the major things that's missing in a lot of our organizations is that structure, is that military aspect of our movements. There's no true protection being pushed or training in that regard. So he started the gun club, like I said, almost 8 years ago now, to basically take those skills that he learned as a recon, as a Marine in so many capacities, but he took the time to bring those skills back to teach his people, to teach the community. And so from there, initially Anubis was just not just because I don't want to diminish his work or our work. It was a militia organization which focused on training, gun education in the community, crisis response, again, focused on not so much community patrolling because he's never been into marching. We're still not into marching, but to come and respond. Before you call the police and then something happens to your people, call your people so we can not only help you, but teach you and help you to protect yourselves in the process. So domestic violence rescues, he's completed hundreds along with the team for years now. I don't even have the exact number in my mind. So domestic violence rescues, also doing community outreach, feeding the community, offering free self-defense courses to our sisters, because a lot of sisters don't really have access to it in a way where they don't feel that they're learning something that's truly going to help them in that way, as opposed to just something to do for exercise. Like he teaches them skills that you wouldn't just get in a basic course. That's not for us. He teaches from a perspective, you're a Black woman, this is what you need to know, and these things will help you, etc. And so from there, we've been doing that for years. The team has grown, but not so much. We're not focused on just the size because we're really, really big on quality, only because you have to do the kind of work that we do with people that you trust. So that's the basic gun club part. And the SOU is our special operations unit, which I'm very, very proud to be a part of. The only woman in it right now. Come on, sisters, I need some more. We'll talk about that too. But where we do quite a bit, we train really hard. It's rigorous. And I know people told me before I got with my husband, people just in conversation, he's too intense. He's too serious. But he has to be. if you're truly about liberation and about your people, you can't be playing, you know? So I think people weren't used to that, because sometimes gun clubs end up being fun clubs and they're not really doing what they're supposed to do
Mm-hmm.
other than marching and talking and things like that. But we really, really do the work. The organization has grown tremendously over the years to branch out to, to 7 different states. And we have started Anubis Security Group, which is our personal protection company, where we do bodyguard work, private bodyguard, and event bodyguard work for people in our community. We're really, really Black first. So we try to just work with our people. We're here because we want them to trust us and know that we're here for them, but we also want to train them to be able to do those things for self as well. So it's just continuing to grow. And I serve as the Houston regional commander and the community outreach coordinator. So I organize things like our clothing giveaways, our food drives. I try to do things that are just targeted with the sisterhood. We train, build in ways that are most effective to us, and sometimes just have that nurturing space for sisterhood that sisters need. And my husband does the other side. But all in all, we're a family organization and just truly Black first and for the people.
That's what's up. I shaded that. Now, on a more less military tactical piece, you're very passionate about helping sisters reduce their obesity. So my first question is, usually when people are passionate about something, there's a personal reason. I want to know what got you. Why did this become a personal concern of yours? And I want you also to let people know that it's not just a concern of yours, that you've actively engaged in addressing the issue. Could you tell us how? Yes.
Absolutely. Oh, Ashe, absolutely. Oh, whew. Believe it or not, I think I showed you and my good sister Brenda the photos, but believe it or not, about 4 years ago, I was definitely clinically obese at 5'4". At 5'4", after just let's just say some personal some life experiences, my weight had ballooned up to 273 pounds. Okay, again, I am 5'4", not the tallest woman, even though I think I am. But that was a lot of weight for my body. And it got to the point where, after I kind of dealt with all that trauma that was going on in my life, made decisions that would be best for myself and all involved, I went to see my naturopath, my doctor, in California. I was living in California at the time, and I was having all these body pains. I was miserable. I was literally miserable, and went to that appointment and was told, basically, if you don't do something, you're not going to be here very long. In short, my blood pressure was out of whack. I didn't have diabetes, thank goodness. I'm still not dealing with any of that. I'm right now. I'm 100% healthy. I have no health concerns. I take no medication. I'm 47 years old, 46, excuse me. I'll be 47 next month. I'm reaching. I'm 46 years old, and I'm in better shape, better health than I was at 16. So again, I had just went through so much, and I experienced it. A lot of the pressures that we have. I was a professional sister, so I was working in my career. I was putting everybody before me, making sure my children and everyone around me had what they need, and I was just neglecting myself. I wasn't really educated on the types of foods that I should be eating. And even when I knew better, I didn't do better, because I was so caught up in my depression and just thinking that, we get that mindset of, we're going to, leave here from something. So I was reckless in my healthcare until that scare happened. And I realized, not only do I want to live a good life, but I want a good quality of life. And so my journey started. First and foremost with just learning how to eat. I had to learn how to eat. Now, mind you, I said I did grow up for a while, or experience some time in the Nation of Islam. So I understood how to eat to live, and eating once a day and fasting. But throughout life and throughout stress and trauma and experiences, I lost those things, in the sense of I didn't do them. They're still there. They were still dormant, but it wasn't my focus. So I figured out how I needed to eat. I made sure that I was properly hydrated. I took time to journal. That was very important for me. And I got to work. But the first 2-3 months, I didn't even exercise because I was so big. I was scared to go into the gym and fall and be embarrassed, and somebody couldn't get me up. So I started to do workouts at home after my first 3 months of losing, like, I think I was like 40 pounds with just changing my diet. I didn't eat, I didn't do any exercise, but walk from here to there. But I lost that weight by just learning how to eat. And then I began to do exercises at home. And then eventually I started to, even in my when I was heavy, I started to share videos on YouTube. I mean, not on YouTube, sorry. I started to share on Facebook and Instagram, and people would take notice and kind of, start to ask me questions. And the more research I did, I realized that Black women are leading in clinical obesity. And I had to, what clinical obesity means. That means that you are over your weight. I don't go by the BMI scale. Your body composition is off. You got too much fat, not enough muscle. I started to really pay attention to that and realize that, wow, it's not just me. Like, this is affecting all my sisters. When I realized that Black women are leading, and what that means is that on average, uh, bigger than any other race of women and men.
Mm.
I want to say that again. Black women are leading in clinical obesity, meaning that we are on average bigger than most races of women and men. And that's not a good look. And so I'm a mother of daughters as well. I wanted to be a better example for them. Just kept doing the work, kept doing the work. Eventually, I was a part of an organization for a time in Mississippi. And the brother in that organization reached out and said, hey, why don't you join us and become the Ministers of Health and Wellness? So that triggered some things to keep happening too. And then eventually my daughter and other friends said, start a YouTube channel. Let's spread this more. Like you said, if we don't really share those things and we don't put the information out there, some people may not know because they may not want to follow Becky. They may want to follow somebody they can relate to. So that's pretty much how it started. I lived that experience. I was close to not being here, and I wanted to live, and I wanted to live a good life.
Okay. And now I would like you to talk a little bit more about the YouTube. I don't know if you were doing Facebook Lives where I was seeing you, or if it was the YouTube channel, but I remember seeing you working out in the gym and whatnot. Could tell the sisters and I guess the brothers to whom this would be relevant. How do you use that YouTube channel to really address your concerns about obesity with our sisters, and what can
Well,
they get from watching it?
absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for asking me that. I try to, well, what I do, not try to. When I started, I said, okay, I'm going to do challenges because I know Black people, we love a challenge, right? So they did the crate challenge. I said, oh, they following, they doing this. They did this challenge, they doing that. And I said, you know what? I was talking to my good sister on here now, Sister Crystal Denise. So I said, I'm going to do some challenges. Everything that I did to get to where I am, because the sisters would ask, and I said, so I would do an arms challenge. We'll do a whole month series where we learn how to work on our arms and we build from 5, 10, 15, 20. And I would come on live and I would do those videos. And, the family would tap in and we would do it together and build on that. Then I do short targeted exercises where I come on and I show, hey, okay, if you're dealing with for women who've had babies, and sometimes what we deal with, what I've dealt with, is a condition called diastasis recti, where the muscles, your abdominal muscles, can actually separate at the midline. And I dealt with that having big babies, right? So my muscles actually separated. So it was like almost no matter what I did, I still had a bulge in my stomach. So I started to do like specific exercises targeted toward that to help mommies to go from however many inches. I was at a 3-inch. Now I'm pretty much closed. I mean, without surgery. So that's something that I did. And then I also I come on and I talk sometimes about wellness in our relationships. I've interviewed a few very beautiful people in our community, Dr. Craig Samuels, who spoke on like misery and how that affects the Black people and how it negatively contributes to our wellness. I had Baba Baruti on where he talks about his book Complementarity, because that's a very important part for women in our wellness, the relationships that we build in life. I had my sister Crystal Denise on. We did several shows just talking about things that were going on within our community with the sisterhood that impact our wellness. So just several areas, but mainly I try to do it by example. If I make a mistake, I keep going. If I can't do something, I try. I was doing it live, so I was doing it, well, recorded, but I didn't edit out my mistakes. Whatever I did, whatever struggles I had, I showed that because I wanted to, bring the humility in and to let sisters know, listen, I'm here for you. We're doing this together. I've done it to you. I've been very transparent with images, with what I've went through, because a lot of times people get online and they'll do all these exercise things, and they've had BBLs, they've had tummy tucks, they've had all these things to make them look like something that they're not. No, I'm telling you, I'm imperfect. I'm working on this. And if you work on this with me, sister, you may not look exactly like me, and you shouldn't want to, but you'll become the best version of yourself. Not only that, I believe in being covered. I don't like to come onto my channel and overexpose myself. I had a lot of young sisters, especially my son when he was in high school, and my daughter. They would tell me, my friends watch your channel. You know what they say? We really like your mom. She keeps it classy. She ain't showing her body. She's trying to say work out. So the teen girls were feeling comfortable because I wasn't portraying an image of an over sexualized nature to them. They were actually learning. And again, I'd always try to leave out with a wellness message, which is something I have to get back into more, but just leading by example and just doing what it is that I'm asking you all to do.
Excellent. Those of you watching live or those who will watch the later recorded version, as Sister Milah is addressing these questions I'm raising, I hope that you're really thinking about how she's pouring love and service into our community, because that's what this whole series is about. And if you listen, she's taking you through education, speech pathology. She's taking you through security, evacuations, some degree of political education, health and wellness. Right. So I want you to think about all these different ways so that we don't become locked into this idea that there's one way to serve our people, because that is a complete lie. There's a million ways. You can choose your lane as long as you ain't no sellout or traitor reporting back to our enemies, as long as you love our people and give your best service. There's a million ways you can use your gifts, your talents, and your knowledge and resources to help. So I really hope you're taking really careful note of that when you're listening to her. Now, Sister Milah, in your opinion, what is the importance of having strong marriages or strong couplings or intimate relationships, particularly for those of us who are in the trenches as community leaders, activists, or community servants? Why is that important?
Protection. And I don't just mean your spouse protecting you or you necessarily just protecting your spouse in a physical way. What I'm saying is not only is it protection, it keeps you out of certain situations, right? It keeps you from being, well, people are going to say what they're going to say, but it keeps you spiritually protected. You have someone who truly loves you, who is covering you as you're doing the work. If you're as fortunate as I am, you have someone who is actually doing the work with you, who is in the trenches with you, and you're both able to protect each other in that way. Also, leadership. I think is very important for those of us who are considering ourselves in any way in the community to be of service, because I really think leadership is really service. If you're doing that, you have to be someone to show that, hey, I can uh, maintain a home, maintain a husband, maintain my family. And if I can keep those things in order, then this is showing you what I can do for the community. I think that the way that people are, the way that spouses, let's keep it on relationship, the way they are with that person is kind of the way that they're going to be with the community and with those that they serve. So it just shows a lot about the honorable nature of a person. It shows that you are not someone to give up on things, to give up on the people, to give up on the fight. The way that you do it may have to change due to various circumstances, but that you don't give up and that you know what commitment and consistency mean in a practical sense, because you're living that in your household. And for me, it is hard for me to, and not even so much if they're, just married, but showing that you are steadily in a coupled relationship with a person. It shows that you do have that commitment. You're steadfast. What you say you're going to do, you do it. You put action behind your words. You have people in leadership, alleged in leadership, who are just doing things that are contrary to anything that would look like, right? And you'll notice that the people who follow them are just as dysfunctional. So I would rather be in a servitude position and be doing things in a righteous way that is giving people the security of knowing that what I'm telling you to do is what I'm living. It protects them as well because they don't have to worry about me or my husband in anybody's DMs or anything like that. We want to just be small on that. We're really focused on each other, dedicated to each other, and really it matters that we are able to show that we're building together. We're able to show what teamwork looks like in a family setting, because that is the foundation for nation building. One more thing, I would just say my husband, one of the biggest things that he stresses to all the brothers in Anubis is marriage, is being with one woman, building with that one woman. You show people a lot by the commitment that you give to the person that you lay down with, the person that you're building with, right? If you can't be loyal to that person, if you'll betray that person, you'll betray me easy, So be solid in that way, and it's a good example for nation building and for those coming behind us in the community. It's a very good example.
Now, Sister Milah, a lot of us, unfortunately, kind of it's a leftover. It's what's left over from Eurocentric, westernized education. We tend to think of everything as being separate. That's your spirituality is there, your political, your politics is there, your health is there, your relationship is there. Everything's separate. But in the African way of thinking, we know that all of these things are connected. As you see it, though, because you're involved in all these different things, how is health, um, uh, safety, and all these things, how is that all connected as we talk about uh, Black nation building? For those who think these are all separate, a bunch of separate things.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's definitely not separate, definitely all interconnected. And if you think about it, if you are a person who does not understand health, you don't understand, you don't appreciate what it takes to learn how to protect yourself, and you just don't do those things, right? And you don't communicate well. If you think about all of those things and you don't do them, how are you really building anything? In truth, how are you really building anything? How can you, get out there and let's say we're always in a state of war? You can't carry somebody if you're unhealthy. As my sister Crystal says often, you can't walk up a flight of stairs. How are you coming to protect somebody? How are you going to save somebody? You don't have the breath to talk. How are you going to speak? How are you going to let them know, hey, so and so is on you, is on me, because I'm not healthy? So that's kind of light, but in essence, it's all about just mind, body, and spirit, making sure that we are able to communicate with each other well, because that's how we get our messages out. That's how we build together. That's how we let people know our intention and what we're saying, and then also our actions. We look at the way that we communicate to know that our actions match. Health and personal safety, those are two so tied so closely together, because again, if you are in poor shape, if you are in poor health, family, and if something happens, you're you're a soft target. You're a sitting duck. So you have to tie all those things together. You have to find the time, make the time to make those things a priority. Because really, one without the other, or two without one, is not going to work. We need them all to be a part of what we do, not just for an event, not just for an organization, but for our day-to-day life. It has to become part of our lifestyle, where we merge those things together in all ways. It's a must.
Yes. Now, my lovely queen complicates the issue a little bit with this question, which is a very good question. She's asking you, could you consider doing a series for people that have health challenges or disabilities, that want to work out, chair exercise or whatever? And I'm glad she raised that, because that complicates the issue. Some people are going to be challenged no matter what they do, because they have, let's say, they had a stroke and it's hard for them to walk, or I don't know, they have serious joint pain and things of that nature. So do you have any things, let's say, Sister Milah, on your YouTube channel that, I don't know, speak to people in those sort of predicaments? or would you consider doing some shows on that? I don't know.
First of all, forgive me, Sister Brenda, because I was supposed to have done this last year. We kind of talked about that. So, and I have sent my sister a few videos of other people that I've seen doing things. But again, it's important for us to do for us. So I will definitely not only consider that, my husband and I will get that done. We will definitely do that because it is very important. My husband has done videos on his channel with his mother where he's doing exercises just using a bottle in the chair. But there's a lot of things that you can actually do specifically for your core and your whole body, sitting in a chair with resistance bands or without. So, Sister Brenda, yes, yes, I listen. You told me this a while ago. I'm definitely going to get on it, and it's going to be based on what men and women can do because my husband is definitely going to do that with me. We've been putting it off, but it is definitely coming, sister. Thank you for that gentle reminder.
That's what's up. Now, because you do a lot of different, like many of us in the community wear a lot of different hats. We could be referees one minute, we counselors the next minute. We're trying to get the money right. There's another minute we're doing business, we're doing organization. How do you maintain harmony? How do you kind of balance these different things in all these different roles? And then you're also a wife and a mom. How do you take care of your wellness or balance all of those different responsibilities?
Accountability, accountability. I make sure, because it's my responsibility to do so, I make sure that my wellness is a priority. I just spoke on Sister Crystal graciously did a Zoom for the sisters. She offered it to everyone, and those who were there needed to be there and were supposed to be there. But she offered a wellness sisterhood show, just kind of to focus on what we need to do or what we are doing as women. And one of the things that I shared with the sisters is truly what I do. I make sure to prioritize me. And that's not selfish, sisters. It is not selfish. If you do not take care of yourself, you'll find it very, very difficult to take care of your family. You'll almost become resentful for the things that you should want to do or that are, I should say, is your duty to do as a wife and as a mother. You'll become resentful because at the end of the day, you'll realize nothing happened for me. So it requires me to get up a little earlier just to, make it plain. But I get up at 4 o'clock every morning, pretty much faithfully, unless I need a rest day. I go work out. I start with, something as simple as making sure I drink my water. I practice stillness when I wake up. I give thanks for everything in my life. I start my day so that I'm not going uphill all day. I do the toughest thing, and not even tough anymore. It was initially. It was so hard for me to work out. Oh, it was so hard. I didn't want to do it. It was like, oh, I got to go do this. I got to go sweat. I'm just telling you my mindset and being very, very transparent. But what initially was like the hardest thing for me to do, which was to get up, to work out, to be still, to drink my water, to pray, meditate, whatever it is you do, to take that time to be still and to center myself with source. And go do that physical work. Once I got it done, everything else in my day was smooth. I came home, I cooked dinner with joy. I was at work, you couldn't bother me. My no means no. Everything was what it was because I started so full. And I filled me up first. I made sure that I worked out, I took care of myself. So as I was taking care of everybody else in my duty as a woman, as a nation builder, I never felt like I was neglecting myself. I felt like even though I did all this work, I got up early, I did this, it wasn't a have to, I got to do it. It was, I had to change my mindset on it. So as I came home and I did those things, cleaning the home, cooking or whatever, rubbing my husband's head or feet, it was joyful. I wasn't doing it because I felt depleted. I was doing it because I felt like I've already put it in me. I got it to give you. I'm full. Let me give somebody else some of this love. So loving yourself, sisters, is not selfish. The better you take care of yourselves, the better you can take care of those you love. Brothers, if she does not take care of herself or try to take care of herself, you can be assured that is what you will experience in your experience with her. It is not selfish to love yourself. So do that first, family.
I thank you for that. That's not just a message to the sisters. It's actually a double message.
Yes.
To the sisters, it's saying, know when to put yourself first and replenish your cup so your cup can runneth over. Right? But your cup ain't gonna run over if you ain't got a drop in your cup because you spend it on
Are
everybody.
you right? Yeah.
The second piece, though, the message is to we brothers, because sometimes we get caught up in what we're doing,
Yeah.
and if we're, as you use the word with Brother Amun, as every man and woman should be about what they're here to do, intense with it, you can kind of forget that your mate needs some help with something, or you're noticing that, oh, my knee, my ankle, my back, I got headaches, and you're not saying as a man, what's wrong? You okay? Anything I could do? What happened? Maybe you should take a break. Let me rub your feet. Something to help. Or when you see that she's cooking dinner every night, I think that's a beautiful thing. We brothers certainly love it. I'm not going to sit here. That's a beautiful thing. But to be able to say, I'm going to step in. I'm going to help on certain nights because I see you're doing a lot and there's a free up time for you. I know I've said it, and sometimes I've done it. Sometimes I have kind of gotten to my thing and kind of forgot. Oh, I need to, help in this way. So, brothers, that's also a message to us that that love is a noun, but it's also a verb, and we can't forget when you see things you shouldn't. You see, if you can do something to lighten the load, you don't have to ask. But if you see something, mop it up. You see something, pick it up. Garbage needs to go out, throw it out. She said, "Oh, I'm hungry." See if you can get her something to eat, make it or order it or whatever. Do your best to be a helpmeet for the queens. That's important. And I'm really glad you said that part. Um Now, this is actually the last question I have, and then we'll open it up for maybe 10 minutes to see if any of our audience members has something they'd like to ask or say too, Sister Milah. And this is how I end each community empowerment series. And that question is, to me, this is the big $1 million question for all human beings. What impact do you want to have, or another way we could say is, what legacy do you want to leave in this world?
Wow. That is a powerful one. And before I answer, I just want to say you are so right in what you said as far as the brothers. And I'm thankful my husband does those things. He does always, stay on the ready. What can he do? What can he do? Or if he thinks I'm too tired to cook, we're going out. Or he's going to cook. So that's very important. Wow. What legacy? That is major. It's something that sometimes I think we should be able to answer in a word or a brief sentence. Um, However, the one thing, the one ideal that comes to my mind is that she was sincere in her love for her people, and I hope that people see that through the actions. Of my day-to-day life and also in the fruit that is from my tree and my children and the way that my husband is loved, etc. But I just want to um, leave, as my husband would say. I know I say my husband a lot, y'all, but I love and adore, respect, and admire that man. But he said, leave empty. And that doesn't mean you leave and you're just depleted. You've just done everything. I want to know that people will know when I'm gone, everything that she could give to us, she gave to us. Whatever lessons that I could teach, whatever experiences that I've had, um, and anything that I build in life, I want to know that I'm not just doing it for myself in the now, but I'm doing it for my children, for my community, uh, for my husband, for all those to come behind me. So just to be full, I want my legacy to know that she was so full in life that when she left, she gave it all. She gave it all. And when whatever my next transition is, I just want to be um, again, as they say, tabula rasa, open and ready to be filled again and start more and continue to give, because that's what I am. I am a servant. People can say leadership, but I'm a servant, and I take so much joy in knowing that I give from a righteous space, that I love from a righteous space. So I would say just to leave empty.
That's what's up. Well said, my sister. And this broadcast has been very informative. I believe it's been very inspirational. And I hope that, again, everyone watching live or in the recorded version said, man, I got to go to that YouTube channel and get more of that type of sustenance, that type of food, because food is physical and spiritual and educational. So we want to eat right physically, and we also want to make sure our mind is eating the right food, right? So please go to YouTube, subscribe to our sister. If you have not as of yet, please do that as soon as you can now or when we end the broadcast. We have to show our people that we value them beyond I love you and
Okay.
beyond a birthday or a Valentine's card. We show them every
That's
day
right.
by work. I'm big on that. When you said consistent, that's very important. The consistent things we do that may not get noticed, but they're
Absolutely.
always a saying, I
Absolutely.
got you, I see you, I love you, and I care. So that's very important. Now, is there anyone in the house that has any questions for our sister? Any things that you want more? Oh, I know the queen. Let me just back up here. She said something. I think she said, I think it was more of a humble suggestion. Is there, do you think that, is there anything on your channel, or might you consider doing some, self defense for people with disabilities? That's a very good question, babe. Very good question.
That really is. It's actually an excellent question, and that is something that my husband and I have discussed. We've talked about that because it's important, and we talked about it in regard to some people, don't have limited ability of their arms due to stroke. Some people have limited ability of their legs due to knee issues or other reasons. So he and I were actually building on that. Like, what can we do to help? Because everybody can play a role in self defense. Everybody can play a role in our community protection. So that's coming too, Sister Brenda. Hold me to the fire. Hold me to it, because we've talked about it, and I'm going to do that chair series. And Moon and I are going to do this. He's been on me about it. He's like, babe, you got to, start a self defense part of your channel with all that you're doing. But sometimes we're doing so much, I forget to, okay, I got to prioritize this. So it's coming. Absolutely. Because that is so important. So important.
Yes, indeed. And Sister Akosua, I think I pronounced that correctly. If not, my apologies.
Oh, yeah.
She asked, Sister Milah, how can educational spaces be transformed to simultaneously empower Black girls and uplift the value of the Black family unit?
Wow. It's coming from an educator and myself as a former educator. Sister, doing what you do, be the example, being the example of what our girls need to see. Seriously, just by the way that you carry yourself, by the way that you love on them, by the way that you take the time, and truly being an example of anything. I almost want to say anything, but no, seriously, truly being an African centered and example of what Black women are in the school system, because a lot of times our young girls don't see that. Oftentimes, sister, I can walk down the hall, and the young girls are so used to seeing teachers who look a different way than I look. I'll just say that, as Black women, and they see me, who is sometimes in African garb, or just modestly dressed, however, and they say things to me like it's a respectful thing, or they let me know I really like this, or I notice that they gravitate toward me and ask me things about earrings or certain symbols. So really just being the example, because as they say, they don't do what we do. I mean, do what we say, they do what we do. So just keep being the example for those girls in your school, and it's going to happen naturally.
That's right. That's right. And also, not to be self-serving, but on our channel, Harlem Liberation School, we have a video that talks about, I think, 6 or 7 ways to empower our girls, specifically our girls, because boys have challenges too, but they tend to be slightly different in the school context than most of our sisters. So check that out if you can. I want to acknowledge a few
Okay.
people. We have Brother Craig Samuels, who is well respected all over the country for his work. I
Oh
want to
yeah.
shout him out. He says peace to the host and the chat. He gives you the greeting, Sister Milah, specifically. And we have there's somebody else, Brother Mark McPhee in the building. Peace, Brother Mark. How you be, man? I hope you're well. gotta call you and kick it with you. I haven't spoken to you in a while. Good to see you, man. And the Queen gives some beautiful words I want to share with you. I just want to salute both my dear sister Milah and Amun for loving us, parentheses, our people, so much that you give us your best service as individuals and as a unit. Thank you. Love you both. Very
Love you,
nice. Very
sis.
sweet.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. Because
Sister Brenda is amazing. If y'all don't know her, get to know her. Let me tell you, this woman, first of all, she's so beautiful. I tell her that every time. I know she get tired of me. She probably saying right now, hush. She's so beautiful. And I'm not just speaking, of course, she's aesthetically beautiful. Her spirit, her energy. She's just so beautiful, so loving, and such a true example of what sisterhood is. So I love you, Sister Brenda. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Hotep.
I love you all.
That's right. Ashe. Hotep.
Ashe.
had to throw some sound effects in there for that.
I like that. She
All
is
right, that's what's
amazing.
up. That's excellent. Now, I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. So I'm going back to these comments. Certainly, Sister Denise is shouting out Brother Craig. Brother Craig is shouting out Sister Christy Denise, which is beautiful. That type of chatting in the chat area is very good. To see people bigging each other up is a beautiful thing. I'm trying to see. I don't see any more questions. But I definitely thank you for you spending your time with us, my sister. And I want to remind people that we don't, I had a lot of my elders, teachers, many of whom are no longer in the physical realm, who used to tell me that they walked with Malcolm, knew Malcolm, worked with so-and-so personally, and that while they were working with them, that there were other people who hated them and didn't work with them. And then years later, when said person is dead, those people were amongst the people who say, "Yeah, Brother Malcolm, John Eric Clark," and we don't want to be like that. What we want to do is support people and see their value while they're here, so that we don't wait until they die to now celebrate them. And so, one of the things that we're trying to do is celebrate and highlight our sisters who are living. To show them that we appreciate them, no matter how strong we are. We all like to get a little thank you every now and then, a little I see you, a little I appreciate you, because we sure will tear each other up when we got to be with each other. so on the flip side, we have to have the same energy to show love and support and acknowledgement. That goes a long way. So that's what we're really trying to do. I want to make sure, don't see any other questions. Oh God, the Queen told me, "Don't make me cry, sis. Stop."
Well, it is what it
Getting mushy
is.
over
She
here.
knows.
You getting
She
mushy, black
knows.
woman? It's all right. I'm just teasing.
You know that is a beautiful black queen right there.
Wait, say
Listen,
that
I'm not
again.
even.
I didn't hear that. Say that one more
I
time.
said that is a beautiful, beautiful black
Say
queen
word.
right there.
I hear people clapping.
Listen.
Say word. That's right. Very good.
And also, I want to thank you too, Baba J, for for the platform and for the work that you're continually doing for our people. It takes a lot of work, and people don't realize, to set up podcasts and set up shows and organize things and pour back into your people in a way that is providing them with political education. And not only that, you are not being, and like you said, there's a lot of people who like to come on and talk about what's wrong with us. What you're doing is you're highlighting what's right with us. So I commend you for that. I thank you for that. I thank you for overstanding and spreading the fact that there are many brothers who understand that, listen, even though sisters and brothers, we're not perfect. You've said it, and Sister Brenda says it all the time. We're all we got, and thankfully, we are all we need. We are all we need. We are all we need. So thank you for showing us and being an example to Black men that all we need is Black women, that all y'all need is Black women. I don't need a Black woman like that, but I'm just saying.
No,
Thank you for that.
Seriously. I'm glad you gave that.
Yeah.
that distinction.
I'm just saying. I don't
People
need
have
one
the right
like
to do
that.
what they want to do, but we have a certain idea of how families are composed. So we respect that. We on the same page, my sister.
That's all I'm saying. Do what you want.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, our brother Craig gave a shout out for acknowledging him. I want to say also to him and you, what I do is a reflection of what I got. I came up in
Ashe.
Harlem in the 80s, Sister Milah. There was crack, gang warfare
Mm.
everywhere, right? And I came up right in Hamilton Heights, Sugar Hill, Harlem, right in the midst of a lot of it. And my ability to navigate that, go to school, come back, do things is by the grace of the Most High, but also its ambassadors on earth. The Most High works through human beings. So I had beautiful teachers, man, who took time with me. And I say that all the time. And I hope people get tired of it. I say it all the time because I could have turned out any which way
Yeah.
if people didn't say, I see something in this young brother. He's a little bit of a knucklehead, but I'm gonna see if I can. He seems like he's smart and he'll listen, and people like pulled me in. I didn't deserve it, so
Mm-hmm.
I give them. I think people had grace with me, and so I try to pay it back because that means
Absolutely.
everything to me. A lot of times we have beautiful people who are turned rotten and ugly and useless because nobody poured into them, or what they poured
Be it
was
awesome.
ugliness. So that I just feel like I'm giving what was given to me. That said, I
Ashe.
want to see if I got any comments I missed.
Ashe.
Oh, I got to show this real quick. Salute to my beautiful black man and true warrior. Well, thank you, my sister. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Brother Craig is giving Sister Milah and Brother Amun straight up props. And you know what, family? A righteous
Thank
man and
God.
woman, when they see somebody get props that deserves it, they clap. They feel good. They don't feel funny. You around people that feel funny when you bigging somebody else up, watch them.
I know
Watch them.
that's
That's a
right.
bad sign. Red flag, right? Brother
Ashe.
Mark McPhee, he says, thanks to the teachers in the Black Studies, you know it. CUNY is, yeah, man, Africana Studies, man. Black
Come on.
Studies, yes, indeed. That's the foundation. Uh, and Sister Queen says, "Salute me, thank you, man. Thank you, Queen, thank you." So, family, we're gonna tune out. We trying to go too long. We know our guests have lives beyond this broadcast. They got things they got to do. We got things we got to do. We thank you, Sister Milah, for your time. You tell Brother Moon that we gonna bring him back on, and maybe we'll have a.
Okay.
The Queen was talking about doing a kind of a couples piece where we can have
I like
different
that.
couples and have a panel just talk freely, just like we talking now. And I think that would be cool. I think that would be a
And
good
I
idea.
think that's so important. Even lending to what the comment that the Queen Sister Ampansa said. That's how you transform those spaces. That's how you transform the thinking by showing those examples of couples actually talking, communicating, building in a way that is positive
That's right.
to add to our people. So I think that's a great idea, Sis Brenda. She's so smart, y'all. She's
Oh yes,
beautiful,
she is.
smart.
Yes, she.
Listen,
Wait,
all of
wait.
that.
What'd you say? I didn't hear you, Sister Mita. What'd you say?
Sister Brenda is beautiful, smart, all of that.
What?
Okay, period.
Hotep.
She knows
That's
it.
right. Ashe. Hotep.
Y'all
I
like that
love
little
it.
sound? I'm playing with the sound effects. That's the Queen that recorded the
I love
the the,
it.
the
I love
Hotep.
it.
Ashe. That's right. That's her.
I love it.
I'm having a little bit of fun. And before we leave, in line with this idea of couples, I know that the Barutis, man,
Oh
Baba
yeah,
Walimu Baruti. Walimu, by the way, is not his name. Bomani's his name. Walimu is a
right.
title. It's
Is the
like
title.
master teacher or teacher. And Mama Yabaruti are hosting the annual complementarity conference. I believe it's
Yes,
June 6th, I think.
I think it. I know it's in. Yes, I believe that is the date. I have it
Yes.
saved.
Yes. So we're going to be talking about that in days to come as well. But just mark that in your calendar for those who are coupled, married or otherwise,
Mhm.
to support it, to come out and support them and to learn and to
And
grow.
even singles. The last
That's
time, even
right.
singles were there. So definitely tap in, family.
Excellent. Excellent.
Definitely.
Lifelong learners, family. We never stop. We still got stuff to
Yes.
learn. Brother Craig says that sounds good. Brother IJ. Now I don't know exactly what he's talking about, but I need to get Brother Craig on a broadcast too. I want him to talk about to highlight his book and just the general work he does. All right. So
Yes.
hopefully I
Yes.
will hit you up through Facebook, good brother, and we'll see what we can do. Um well, family, with that said, thank you, Sister Milah, for your time. We
Absolutely.
want to thank all of you for joining us. Please support her channel, subscribe, support this channel, subscribe. We all we got, but we all we need. And we
Okay.
believe no matter what the white man is doing, no matter what Trump is doing, no matter what they weapons and listen, we are the cradle of humanity and civilization. We were putting things up on this earth before this man was even born, for there's even any historical record of him. So we need to reconnect to the source, find out who we are and whose we are, and get to work and stop complaining and getting all scared and curling up in fetal position and act like men and women, right? That know who they are and want to protect and defend and build themselves and do that work, family. We got this. All right. With that said, family, peace and black power. Tune in next time. We're going to keep you abreast on our upcoming broadcast. Peace, family. Peace, Sister Milah.
Peace, fam. Peace.